Chasing the Pain was has definitely become, even from releasing it before we've released the record, has definitely become, I think, like a firm favourite with a lot of people who have already spoken to me about the album and what we've released so far. It's obviously got the Eric Dover on it.
Oh,
which
don't
is,
say obviously.
Yeah.
So tell us.
Well, yeah.
People may not have heard it yet.
So I think it's about a year ago now, a friend of mine who works at PMT Birmingham basically was doing merch and tour management for Eric's band Los Angels when they'd come over to do the UK. And basically we're good friends, and he knows what a massive Snake Pit fan I am. Right? So he basically said to me, he said, look, they're going to be performing at I almost said JB's there, that just shows how old I am, right? They're going to be performing at the Robin 2 in Dudley. Like, are you coming? And I was like, yeah, damn right I'm coming. I'm coming down with my CD and I'm going to get it signed, and you know, like. And he was like, well, look, I'm obviously doing the management. I'll get you to meet Eric and he can sign you. And he was like, yeah. Now, David, you know, like was always been really supportive of Devilfire, so he was like, okay, well, you know, like I know you said about like having a guest on the track, you know, like. You know, is that something you're still considering? I was like, yeah, well, maybe. And basically, he's just sort of put it together. We were at the gig, and he went, Eric, you know, Alex has got this really cool track. He was kind of thinking about a dual vocal on, like this kind of split personality thing, which I'll come back to in a second. Do you fancy, you know, like working on it? And we kind of got talking, and he was like, yeah, send me the file, and I'll see what we can do. It'll be when I get back to LA. And I was like, right, okay. So he went back to LA, and I didn't really expect to hear anything. I gotta admit, you know, like I've been in this industry a long time, you know, like I don't really count anything until it happens. And then all of a sudden it was like, I got an email back from him, and he was like, yeah, sounds great. Do you want me to just record some stuff? And I'm like, yeah, just record some stuff. And then all of a sudden I had some files in my inbox. I was dropping them into the track, and I was going, this is incredible. Like this is better than I thought it would sound. And you know, really, the voices are similar, and mine and Eric's aren't too far apart, probably because I'm massively influenced by him, you know, and that ilk of singer. But so we were stood there, and I was like, great, this is brilliant. The track sounds incredible. He's done some really wicked inflections on the end as well, and stuff that I hadn't even asked him to do. It was just like, what do you think about this? Yeah. And I was like, yeah, great. So we were happy, and he was like, oh yeah, when I come over to the UK, it'd be great to kind of, you know, maybe do it with you guys. And I was like, well, yeah, we'll see what happens. You know, obviously things of certain worldwide viruses have hit, and you know, but yeah, it's that was how it really hooked up with me and him. And thank you to David Rattenbury who set that up. He was incredible. Cool.
And so did you give him the whole song part, the whole vocal part to do it, and then you chose what voice he would be?
Yeah.
I presume there's an alternation, isn't there, between alternation between verses? Or
yeah, so he does a line on the verse, I do a line, he does a line, I do a line. So basically I had to set it out for the mood of the song and for the lyrical content, how it was going to work. And I basically just sent him the lyrics with highlighted what I wanted him to sing. And he was like, yeah, no, that works, you know, like I haven't really got, you know. He was just like, yeah, okay, brilliant. So he basically sings the lines that I weren't singing, and then he came back to me and said, look, there are some lines that you are singing that I could harmony with you on, or you know, or playing with you on. Do you want to then do those? I mean, just literally, let's throw it all against the canvas and see what sticks. Yeah. So we did, and I mixed it, you know, and I sent him across, and he was like, yeah, I love it, like, you know, it's great. So, so yeah, so I'd always got it well planned out what I was going to do if I had somebody coming on it, and then when Eric came in on it, it was very easy to just go, there you go, do this, this and this, and he was lovely enough to just be like, yeah, no worries. And I've got a few other ideas. I was like, yeah, great. So cool. So brilliant. So yeah, the lyrical content on it was this kind of split personality, and it was always this kind of juxtaposition of, you know, as an artist we are always chasing the unachievable dream, or chasing the pain, you know, as you'd call it, you know, chasing this point of perfection that you never ever will quite achieve. It's kind of like you know, 10 out of 10, always have a problem with 9 out of 10. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, So it's one of those things where you know, I wanted to write a song about that, and it just seemed to be this perfect thing. And you know, it was like, you know, there was always this discontent with life. You know, I don't want just some. I'll quote the lyrics because they are the best way of putting it. I don't want some happy homemaker. I want like a rattlesnake. I want something that's going to be ferocious and fearsome. You know, I can't just do with this kind of normal life. I'm just going to kick the food from the table. You know, it's all unstable. I want more. I want something better. And that was really where chasing, and it was always that chasing the pain, chasing the thing that you could probably never have.
Is that a mantra, or is this just a persona that you're into? Is that a life for you? Is that?
Yeah, I guess so. As a musician, I guess we all are. Yeah, I guess we all are chasing the fame, chasing the pain. Yeah, because yeah, you know, we're not. I won't lie about it. Yeah, well, of course we want our bands to be the biggest band in the world. Of course we want our, you know, otherwise why would we do it? Nobody. I don't think anybody in the world goes out to do what they do to be mediocre. They all go out to do it to the best of their ability, and yeah, they're always
So how does the dual personality part come into it then?
So it's this dual so in that whole thing of running, you know, trying to achieve something in your life, you always have this dual personality that's kind of going, nah mate, don't worry about it, you know, you're never going to really achieve it, so don't worry about it, right?
So that's the little
devil on your little devil and angel on your shoulder, mate. No, you can do this. No, don't worry about it, mate. You're just an average Joe. Don't worry about it. And Chasing the Pain is all about that. And it's having this as somebody else just sing the lines. I think just kind of, for me anyway, as the artist, just kind of cemented that there was a bit of toing and froing with the idea in the mind, even in the metaphorical lyrics that are going on in the song. So yeah. And that was it. And you know, and there's always somebody who's going to tear you down for it. There's always going to be somebody, you know, beggars keep asking, you know, everybody wants a pound of your flesh. There's always that sort of thing going on. So yeah, there's a lot woven into it.
So you're putting yourself out there to be judged, aren't you?
Yeah.
To be either accepted or rejected, and you've got to deal with both sides.
Yeah, that's it. So
everybody wants the adulation.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody wants the haters and the,
no.
Actually, that was pretty.
And the pain is the work as well, you know, to achieve anything, you know, whether you be somebody who wants to build the greatest skyscraper in the world, or somebody, you know, it is a painful process. Whatever your art is, you know, whether your art be mathematics, or whether your art be music, or whether your art be building, it's a painful process to go through no matter what it is. And that's what Chasing the Pain is all about. It's the process and everything that comes along with it, the psychology of it, the devil on your shoulder, the angel on your shoulder, you can do it, no you can't. You know, the split personality, what you strive for, what you're going to leave, what you're going to accept, and what you're not going to accept.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then the horn section, which was done by Ash Ian, who is incredible.
So, there's a horn section.
Yeah. So there's not.
Is this something you've written before? Is this something you played around with? You knew what you wanted, or you knew how to explore it, or what?
It was experimental. I'd never really done it before, I have to admit.
Okay.
But I was very, very into, you know, there's a lot of bands out there now, and I'm not knocking any other bands, but there's a lot of bands that stick with the formula of what they can achieve on stage and what they can't. And they go, right, well, we can't do that on stage because we can't hire a horn section every time we go out and play live, just because of the level we're at. I never really wanted my records to be limited to that mindset. So I'd kind of done this little keyboardy da 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 that was in between the vocal, that was kind of a little hook that I wanted to put in there, and I could always hear it in my head as being horns.
Yeah.
So it was a question of how do I visualise this. Now I have done it before with other bands where I've put horns into songs as a producer, but I'd never done it for myself, so I was a bit apprehensive, and is this going to work, or I might just be wasting my time here. And if it hadn't worked, I would have taken them out. But yeah, it was just, we had this hook in it. I wanted it to be very, you know, kind of,
no,
again,
can't do that with the horns.
No, like kind of groovy with the kind of kind of groovy with the Aerosmith kind of like guitar, and then like the horns juxtaposing that sort of thing.
To and fro.
Yeah, the sort of toing and froing with that. I wanted that kind of vibe on it, to kind of balance out the fact that the actual lyrical content is quite dark. So I wanted it to actually make it quite an upbeat, to kind of emphasise the devil and the angel on your shoulder sort of thing. So, but it also just sounded right. Like when we started tracking them, I was just like, yeah, this just sounds great. And So yeah, it's probably something I actually will do a lot more in the future because it has worked. Chasing the Pain, it really worked on. There is another track on the album we got horns on that really works on that as well. But they are very different animals.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So it's not just a keyboard synthesised.
No, it's not. They are actual horns. Yeah. There's a great little
Plural?
video. Sorry.
Plural.
Yeah. So Ash came in and didn't just do one horn part. He did like tenor horn, you know, and literally went down the thingies and did harmonies and all that for him.
Got a big rack of.
Yeah, literally just went, right, do you want this one? Yeah.
Trumpet, is it?
Trumpet. He did trumpet, and then I think he did, do you know, like, don't ask me to remember. That's the worst thing. He did trumpet, and he did 2 different types of trumpet, and then he did, I think it was a French horn underneath as well. So yeah, I think on the next one I might go the full hog. I'm going to have like saxophones and you know, because
full brass section.
Full brass section. Yeah, I'm really going to make it a lot bigger because it sounds great, but it doesn't. I mean, it probably could have sounded a lot bigger, but you know, it's just time and money. But yeah, yeah, it was. But it just accented it enough it needed to. But there are synthesized strings in the back of it as well, bulking it out. So to bulk out that. So it's it was always it was just we put it down. I was just like, right, this just sounds great. I'm gonna have to make this a constant.
Is that one of the last things you would add, or do you know where you were going, or did you?
It was. No, actually, the horns were done before we did the drums for the track properly.
Right.
So we never did.
So we were still listening to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
excellent.
So we never really do.
That's me doing beatbox.
Yeah, we never really do it in the traditional way. We never really do it. I always basically record the demo from start to finish, and then basically what I do is I replace parts on the demo because it's all tracked to very much to a regimented time coding. We can pretty much record the track totally and then just take parts away and redo them.
So it's recorded to a click, effectively, and therefore it doesn't matter whether it's got drums on it or not.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And as long as it all works when we're tracking it, as long as we're referencing to what we've already put down, and we're at the kind of most you know, like the most up-to-date version of the track, and we're not doing anything that
like
isn't.
May not have done.
No, we're always pretty good.
We just laid that down to the previous version.
Yeah, well that's it, and then we go, oh right, okay, there was a horn there, and you know we should have like no, we're usually pretty good, and it's to the most up-to-date version of the track, and then we can kind of go, okay, well I can't put a screaming guitar solo or that bit because there's a vocal or a horn or this going on in the top levels. So yeah, and then I think actually with this record we did the drums pretty much last. No, I think the solos came in last, but they were already allocated where they were going to be. They were very regimented out from the beginning. So we just replaced basically where I'd done a little noodle, and then Baz and Kieran come along and go, we'll do that far better. And I go, yes you will. So yeah. So yeah, but Chasing the Pain, like, you know, probably one of the standout tracks on the album, just because I think it does jump off the page a bit because of the horns and because of Eric and because of the upbeatness of it. So yeah, I just love that track.